Today, we're going to be trying something a little bit different, and I'm going to be making a In-N-Out burger bowl, which is a recipe that I saw on BPN on YouTube. Some of you might know this company as Bear Performance Nutrition or Nick Bear's protein company, supplement company, or whatever you want to call it. Now, this recipe obviously stuck out to me for a few reasons. Number one, I'm a sucker for cheeseburgers. And number two, I don't really get to eat out that often because I try to keep it as clean as possible, so a lot of my meals are cooked in-house. But when I saw something that was similar to an In-N-Out burger, I couldn't help myself. Today I'm going to be doing my best to stay as true as possible to the recipe that's shown, and for those of you interested, I'll go ahead and link the video down below. For this recipe, we're going to need 93.7 lean ground beef, iceberg lettuce, cherry tomatoes, cheddar cheese. I have the reduced fat, but any kind of cheddar cheese will do because this recipe is relatively low calorie. Dill pickle slices, red onion, ketchup, and of course I've got Walden Farms ketchup because that's what I had at the house, but you can use regular ketchup because again, this is a pretty low calorie recipe, but just make sure you're accounting for those calories as you add additional calories to what you'll see here. Yellow mustard, sweet relish, Primal Kitchen mayo, bacon. Of course, you can see that I have uncured bacon here, so this is going to be a little bit lower calorie than maybe the turkey bacon that you see people using on a lot of these meal prep recipes. So I'm just going to stick to the regular bacon. It's 70 calories for 2 pieces opposed to 90, so I'm just going to stick to the real thing because I think it tastes better. And white distilled vinegar. Obviously, you don't have to have one this big, but this is what we had on hand, so this is what I'm using. Started, all I'm gonna do is take all of my vegetables and start chopping them up. We're gonna have our iceberg lettuce, our cherry tomatoes. I'm only using about 5 or 6 cherry tomatoes here because Hannah's not gonna use any, and some red onion. Now the red onion I already had chopped, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that in with the rest of the vegetables when this is all said and done. And you can see that I'm basically just taking ground beef here, putting it on the pan after spraying it with some non-stick spray. And once that's good and brown and nice and cooked with some salt and pepper, got the bacon cooking right after the ground beef. I've got about 6 or 7 pieces here, so I'll probably save some of the extras for, breakfast one morning or something along those lines. Also, I should mention that I know that the lights are technically off while I'm making these, but I assure you that I did turn the lights on whenever I was actually cooking. I'm just trying to add a little bit of cinematic effect. Now as for the sauce, I'm going to go ahead and use about 119 grams of our mayo, 3 tablespoons or 45 grams of the ketchup, about a teaspoon of our yellow mustard, 2 tablespoons or about 30 grams of the relish, about 15 milliliters or 1 tablespoon of the white distilled vinegar. One thing I want to provide caution on is not using too much of the sauce. I'm only going to be using about a big tablespoon worth of it, so probably about 1/8 of the sauce here. So that's going to keep it relatively low calorie, but if you use the entire thing, I mean, you'd be adding almost like 900 calories to one bowl, but also it would be super saturated and probably wouldn't taste the best. Once the vegetables are cut up, our sauce is made, and our proteins are finally cooked, we're going to go ahead and put our bowl together. Alright, so we've made our In-N-Out burger bowl, and as you can see, the final product came out looking really nice. I'm super pleased with it. So I'm just going to go ahead, mix this entire thing up, and then give you my honest, live reaction. So first bite, I got just about everything in here. This is a ton of food. So one thing I'm excited about is the fact that this is a ton of volume, super easy to eat, but also a little bit messy. So let's give it a shot. Damn, that is really good. What do you think? That's an 11 out of 10. That's off the fucking charts. That's amazing.
No way.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Alright, so for this entire bowl, pretty big size bowl, you know, again, almost as big as my big ass head. We are looking at 568 calories, 14.8 grams of carbs, 34 grams of fat, and 49.6 grams of protein. So definitely a ton of protein in here. And in my opinion, this is as good as a regular burger if you were to put it up into a bowl, right? So definitely a recommendation here. This is unbelievable. So that's going to end it for today's video. I'm going to go ahead and finish off this bowl. If you enjoyed today's content, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.